Welcome to the Franchising 360 Show, the only show that takes you inside the world of franchising, with hosts Tim Parmeter and Danielle Wright.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to the Franchising 360 Show. I am Tim Parmeter, and with me, as always, is Danielle Wright.
That's me.
Danielle and I are going to give you a 360-degree look at the world of franchising every week on this show, give you an understanding of how to find the best franchise to own, really even help you figure out if you should own one, how to be successful once you do have a franchise, and then even help you understand how to take your existing business and turn it into a franchise. And lots more. Who knows? We got all sorts of surprises for them tonight. So what shall we speak about tonight, Danielle?
I love that you asked me what we should speak about. You know what we're speaking about. Lead with it.
We're going to talk a little bit as we kind of wrap up 2025 is give you kind of an insight from a Francoach perspective and our team, our clients, some of the franchises, kind of what's hot, what's moving in the franchising space. And so looking forward to this one.
I know, because we're using the words hot. A little hot under the collar.
Yes, it's and it's one of those things that people like to talk about in franchising.
Yeah.
It's like hot, the top, the best. Now, whether or not that's really accurate or not is maybe one of those little myths. I've been working on that word that we're going to dispel tonight.
Great. I'm here for it, because hot doesn't necessarily mean like it's the best one to own, right? Like,
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the fun part of this in franchising is it's the most individualized and personalized thing out there, probably next to getting married, but it's right up there with it. Is it's got to be what's best for you, not somebody else. So
how many brands are we talking about here? Are we just like overall blanket statements, or like where are your metrics coming from?
No, really it is everything from our team at Francoach in 2025. So there's been over 100 people we've worked with that have become franchise owners.
Wow.
And
good job. Congratulations.
It's right. We got an awesome team at Francoach. So
if you do say so yourself.
So not so much me, but the team is awesome. So it's been great, and I think it'll be the range is kind of crazy, and I think this is where I felt pretty proud of our team, and that it's not like here's 127 of them went to my buddy over here at this franchise.
Right, which does happen. Right.
Correct. Right. So
when we think about the consultant world and how that all works, that's one of the things that isn't hot in franchising.
No, are there some repeaters, right?
Yeah.
With this? Of course there are, but
maybe we can talk about why.
Yeah.
Why there's a repeat.
No, and I think one of the things too is we were kind of looking through this list earlier, and there was one of the brands that somebody on our team had a client that became an owner of, and I was even like, I don't remember what that brand is, right? And I'd kind of look back, and so again, it's just why it's so individualized to each person.
It's exciting. So I've got a fun fact that helps with all of this.
Dun, dun, dun. It is
I know, you've got to do the tee up. Otherwise, it's
Friday Franchise Fun Fact with Danielle Wright.
Sponsored by
no one.
Okay. What is the fastest growing segment in 2025?
Fastest growing segment in 2025. Is this multiple choice or fill in the blank?
It's fill in. I never give you anything because
Don't help me.
I mean, if I help you, let's be clear. If I tested these out on you before, the shucks value of your face does not exist.
Shucks. So, wellness.
Wrong. Give me another one. I'll let you have one more bite
You just
at
like
it.
telling me I'm wrong.
I know, it doesn't
It's
happen
the fun
often.
part.
It doesn't happen
happens
often.
all the time.
It does not.
Fitness.
No. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ready now?
Yeah.
What about now?
Go.
Okay. Eco-friendly businesses.
Eco-friendly businesses. Do we have examples of eco-friendly businesses?
Solar.
Okay.
Electric vehicles. Sustainable cleaning brands.
Sustainable cleaning brands. Okay.
Yes.
Excellent. And I know the electrical vehicle thing is, there are some that are just, that's kind of what they're doing,
Yes.
right? And then there are some others that can kind of touch on that. We had our friend of ours, Trent Huey, months ago from Neighborly, and one of their brands is Mr. Electric, and that's even stuff that they are doing.
See, and then I think electric vehicles, there's a new franchise in Texas that they do a lot of the scooters and ATVs that are like put out around town, like that stuff. And then solar. I mean, I didn't realize that solar was a franchise, but again, everything can be a franchise.
There's a new one for that is just all about the kind of the EV and the chargers, because if anybody drives an electric or a hybrid, finding a place to plug it in is not particularly easy.
True statement. What about sustainable cleaning?
So
you have access to all of these brands, so I just would have thought that if I gave you that, you might like pop something in that head of yours.
So cleaning and what are we using to clean, right, is going to be a big part of it. There's one way we know that is commercial cleaning, and they get into like restroom hygiene, and some of the things that they use are both cool and disgusting to be able to kind of
but also eco-friendly
and making sure things are actually clean
with eco-friendly products.
Yes.
Do you know what eco-friendly means?
No, tell me.
No, I'm being serious.
That it's good for the environment.
Okay, just making sure that we're on the same page. No, I mean, generational gaps and all. I just need to
right here.
I need to make sure that we're on the same page.
Well, cool. So let's. I love the franchise fun fact, and once again, I've been stumped. One of these days, I'm going to sneak a peek at the cards, so maybe I can get one of these right.
Nope.
But when we come back, let's talk about some of the quote hot and top brands in the franchise world, and for our team at Francoach. That is here next on the Franchising 360 show. Hey, we are back on the Franchising 360 show. Tim Parmeter with Danielle Wright. And Danielle, we are going to chat about some of the, at the end of 2025, some of the, like, I need my air quote, like, hot franchises.
You're struggling with the word hot. Like,
I am a little bit.
How about we just say they were the top placements, or some of the placements that were had in Francoach? Like, they don't necessarily need to be hot. They don't need to be the top or the best. Just I think it's nice to know what's going on in the world with your team.
Yeah, no, I think it was a little over 100, and there were about 40 different industries and niches within there.
Okay.
So that came up. So I think that's kind of the fun part of what we do is, one, helping people figure out what it should even be, and then understanding all the differences with the nuances with franchisors to be able to find, hey, here's two that look the exact same, right? Maybe they're both painting franchises, and they can be vastly different behind the scenes, and one might be great for somebody and the other one might be not so great.
So did you see any similarities with, let's back from the brands for a second and talk about clients, because people watching our show are potential owners of franchise businesses, maybe, hopefully. Did you see anything that was repetitive? Like, what were they bringing to the table? Because I think from what I know, the first calls that you have with people are really like getting to know you. Like, what does your world look like? So did you see any commonality in those conversations with people you were talking to?
Well, I think the biggest kind of why or reason isn't necessarily industry related. It's kind of why are they looking at this to begin with, which is like there's something not good in their life, right? There's a little pain. They're sick of their job. Maybe their job was sick of them. The life, they don't have the right lifestyle that they want. They just want more overall control, right? So there's a pain in I wish my life was better, and I wish I had more control over it. So that's always kind of the underlying reason. And then from there, like the crazy thing is really isn't, right? I would love to be able to go.
So there weren't more people saying, hey, I've lost my job, or hey, I'm not happy with my job, or hey, someone passed away and I now received all of this money as an inheritance, now I want to invest in it. Like, there was nothing that said, hey, like, this is a series of people that this makes...
The job thing is the majority. It's either I really don't like my job or I just lost my job. And the thought of going... I had somebody a couple months ago literally said they lost their job after several years. And he was like, the thought of updating my resume is like, gives me the shakes, right? I'm no help. I haven't done one of those in 12 years, right? So it was that piece of it was huge. And I think one of the kind of misconceptions about franchising is one, food, right? It's like, oh, we think franchising, we think food.
Yes.
And we think millions of dollars, right? And so for the investment, and for all of the people we had this year, there were really only 3 different food brands that we had clients start. Only one of them was truly like a $1 million investment, and really only of all of the ones this year, really only 2 of them were multi-million-dollar investment type of brands. Everything else was under that, and probably about 3/4 of the brands were non-retail. So again, lessen that investment even further.
Okay. So recap. Not a lot are uber expensive.
Correct.
Not a lot where, hey, I need retail to be involved. And most everybody was having some type of job debacle in 2025.
Some sort of pain in their life, right? Job, whatever that might be, yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of a recap of 2025. Like, I want to get into like the brands and what they bought and why, because you typically do what? Show 3, 4, 5. How many do you put in front of someone?
I want to say 6 or 7, but I'm going to resist that for a second. But usually it's 3 or 4.
Okay. Great. Fantastic. That threw me for a loop.
I know.
The 6
I told you
and the 7,
I was going to work that in.
And anybody actually
That's
watching,
from
knowing that, congratulations.
That's from my kid. You're welcome.
So there we are.
Yeah, no, it's usually three or 4 that are wildly different.
Okay,
right?
so never the same industry.
No. That's lazy and incompetent if somebody's doing
Oh,
that.
now,
But
reserve yourself.
Well, because again, it's if somebody's like, oh, I really want a fast food brand. Well, one, what we find is taking people through the process. They don't really know what they don't know, right? And so being able to show them some things that have contrast to, hey, here's a great spa franchise, right? That because you've got some interest in it and you check all these boxes for this. But maybe here's a eco-friendly cleaning franchise that also can check some boxes. Surface-wise look very different, but all can have some components that they're looking for.
So this is kind of why you use someone, or you should want to have someone go along on this journey with you. Because if you were saying, hey, I want food, the first question I would be asking you is like, well, what is it about food that you feel is the right fit for you? Like, have you worked in food? Do you know what that looks like? I've done that. It is not fun. And so all of that plays into these pieces of how you decide what is a hot brand, I guess.
Yes. Yes, that and a little bit more. Let's take a quick break and let's come back here on the Franchising 360 show right after this. Hey, we're back on the Franchising 360 show. Tim Parmeter alongside Danielle Wright. And we are talking about a little kind of 2025 recap for Francoach, our clients, all of the different brands and kind of the range of things that that we've seen people get started with this year.
We're kind of taking a turn on who's asking questions and who's answering. It's kind of weird.
I don't know that I like it all that much.
I know you don't. I know you like being the one to ask the questions.
It's a little warmer on the side tonight, so.
So no, let's jump in. Can we name brands? Like, are you open to answer all the questions?
Absolutely, yeah. So, I mean, if you're asking me to rattle all of them off, we don't have time because there were so many. But I think a couple things when you think of, I mean, we've got anything from like wellness. We get into, there's a spa franchise called Spa Via Day Spa that I know you know really well. Amazing group. We've had a couple clients start that one. And then obviously some boutique fitness we've gotten into a little bit. So we had somebody recently started Jet Set Pilates, and
Pilates is big right now.
It is huge.
It is the hot
it is
fitness franchise.
Yes, and
I will say that out loud numerous times.
You and I are big fans of that for a lot of reasons. We had one of the bigger ones was a Sky Zone, which is a trampoline park.
Okay. So when bigger, talk to me about bigger.
Well, one, it's pretty big. Those aren't small. Those aren't.
Give me a square footage here, bro. Like, this doesn't tell me anything.
These are 15,000 square foot things and several $1 million, right? So, so that was cool. And then all of the kind of the unsexy home service, which there's probably 50 or so different niches just in home service alone. We've had landscaping. We had Logan Smith here a few weeks back
Yes.
from Mr. Appliance, right? We've
You
had
guys have
those.
done a lot of the Mr. Appliance deals lately, which I've used them as a customer.
Again, right? With
Recently.
fun experience, right? And then things that people may not think about, like there's the smoke, fire, water remediation.
Okay.
Our pals.
Is that still really like a hot franchise to own?
Yeah, well, I think there's one of the misconceptions there is that, well, we need a natural disaster for that to happen, for that to be needed.
Walk me through that.
When in reality, yes, they clean up the natural disasters, but it's the everyday disaster of pipe bursts, any number of different things that can happen that are going to just cause that in
We
everyday
could
life.
go back and forth on the restoration all day, but I won't steal your thunder.
No, it's and then we have some things like staffing, right?
Okay.
With that, printing, some kid-related things. We had one client of mine in Midland, Texas, Midland and Odessa, Texas, starting in musicology. So, which is again super cool. A swimming one, the hair-related, which. Some people apparently have hair that needs to be cut, so I wasn't aware that was a thing. Senior care is always a booming industry, no pun intended, because we just keep getting older. So
And living longer, and people need to take care of people as they get older.
yes, so
So start name dropping here. Like what were maybe the top 5, 10 placements of the year? Like, and then which ones? Wait for it. I'm gonna double question. Which ones did you like show the most?
So there's really, I think the most we had one brand was 4 this year.
Okay.
Right, and
so 4 placements with a brand.
correct, which out of over 100, again, is pretty good. So it means we've got this incredible range of things. Over 40 brands was the first time our team had ever gotten a deal done with them this year, which again is the range of, we're not just trying to like, oh, this is my buddy, let me send that.
Even though that does play a little bit, because we want everybody to have a good experience, so we are aware of who we're bringing them.
And I had somebody earlier this year ask me as we were introducing some franchises, and they literally asked, well, have you had clients start any of these franchises? And people don't often ask that, and so it kind of caught me off guard, and I'm like, well, 2 of them yes and 2 of them no.
Okay.
And the no doesn't mean it's anything bad, right? It just hasn't been the right fit. You've been on the other side of this equation, and for those maybe just tuning in, we're also married. There's only ever been one brand you've worked at where you and I have gotten a deal done. So
very true.
Right. So it doesn't mean like, hey,
there's no nepotism going on
let
there.
me get in good with my wife. Let me show this brand. If it's not the right thing, it's not. It's silly. It's disingenuous, and basically we're not doing our job in that situation.
So we got off of on a tangent. What, like, name the 5?
Senior helpers, Fulgham White business coaching, those 2, Pertac, which is our industrial and hydraulic hoses, which super duper unsexy, Spa Via Day Spa. Those are all ones that we've had multiple with this year.
Okay.
But really, almost everybody else is like, it's one for this one with this one with this one.
What was the most unique one that you think was placed this year out of all of the placements?
I'm going to tell you one that's kind of crazy that I was also really proud of our team for was a vending franchise.
Okay.
Which, yes, there are some franchises that are vending related.
Yeah, it kind of goes into that whole passive thing, right?
Well, but it was a great story. It was the mom and their son was, I want to think it was autism, but was a special needs child that had now grown into being an adult. And so they did that kind of for their kids so they could have could kind of something to do and kind of manage the routes a little bit with them, right? And so it was a really cool story from a family perspective. It was much less about the actual business, as does that kind of make them millionaires? It was more of just how do they involve their special needs child?
But that's also a thing that I've seen in the past, and I haven't seen a lot of it lately, is people buying those businesses for their kids. Like we talk about jobs on this side, but how is today's youth going out and competing in the job environment?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
interesting.
We'll come back to that here in a second on the Franchising 360 show. We are back on the Franchising 360 show along with Danielle Wright, I am Tim Parmeter, and kind of wrapping up 2025, which has gone by in a blink of the eye.
I know.
And talking about some of the brands and industries and the range of things that we've seen at Francoach this year.
Yeah. What other kind of trends have you seen for 2025?
I think the primary profile of somebody we work with that starts a franchise is still that probably 40 into their 50-year-old mid to upper level executive. They've been working their tail off, building somebody else's business. It's like enough already, right? So that's still the bulk of it. But what we keep seeing is younger and younger and younger and younger. We had a 21-year-old this year.
Okay.
Right? And I think that younger generation, under 20 or under 30 rather, has figured out in a couple years what it took my generation decades to figure out.
Right.
Working for somebody else sucks. I want to do this myself.
It's a pendulum swinging, right? Because you all were trained from your parents that I go somewhere, I work for 25 years, I get a pension, I retirement, all of those pieces, and a lot of that doesn't exist anymore.
My parents were dirty liars when it comes to that, right? But they just didn't know. And so I think the younger generation gets a bad rap, maybe at times accurately, but I think there's a lot of entrepreneur mindset.
Right. I mean, look at TikTok and YouTube and OnlyFans. I mean, someone's going out there thinking, but the thing is like that's not always going to make you money consistently long term.
Right. And I think one of the the YouTube thing, I've had this conversation with my son Logan as like, oh, look at this YouTuber and he's got 8 million followers and he's building like these Lego related things or whatever. And you're like, but yeah, like dude had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? That was a heavy lift. That was a lot of work. But it was for himself. And I think that's the thing. If you've got a great idea and you can do that, great. But most people just give me a little.
But how long is that going to sustain?
I don't know.
I mean, we read an article the other day that the head of NVIDIA said the millionaires and billionaires of the future are going to be what?
Right.
Electricians, plumbers, the trades, all of those. The hydraulic hoses, like that's just the thing.
The stuff that you know is not going to go away. We're always going to need it, right? And I think there's the other thing that's always fun is to see somebody that really is going to gravitate towards that. This feels safer, right? Like, oh, there's always going to be a plumbing issue. I want to be your plumber versus, hey, this is cool and this is fun.
Right.
And again, that's why I always go back to there's not a best, there's not a right or
a hot.
There's just it's not true. It's truly being able to figure out and kind of reverse engineer. What are you good at? What do you want to do? What kind of people do you want to be around every day? And that's what's going to lead you there.
Perfect. All right. So now you've given us the 360 view of 2025.
Yeah. And
what's next?
Well, the one other thing on all of this, I always want to kind of come back to, and this is a whole nother episode, is literally every single person that we placed in a franchise this year,
every single one.
Out
of all the 100.
Not one had experience in that industry that they became a franchise owner. How is that possible?
I tell you, there was one. There was one.
Oh, I forgot yours. One.
There's always one.
One troublemaker.
That's me.
With that, but no, and I think that's also kind of hard to grasp, but is kind of a fun part of this as well.
Yeah, it's super exciting. But it sounds like you guys had a great year. I'm glad. Hopefully, 2026 is looking to be as great.
I hope so as well. And again, always thank everybody for tuning in. Check out our YouTube channel. Francoach.net. You can find us both places there. And then again, we'll be back next week with a little bit more about the franchising world with Danielle Wright.
That's me.
I am Tim Parmeter, and thanks for tuning in to the Franchising 360 Show.